What's going on, guys? This is Simon from SG, and in this video, we're going to learn how to add a late fee for your payments on WooCommerce subscription orders that fail. So I recently got this question from Lewis on my channel about how to add a late fee for customers' payments that fail, and then after the customer pays the late fee, their late fee will not be applied on their next subscription payment. So Lewis is right that WooCommerce subscriptions does not offer late fees on missed payments from subscribers. So how do we set this up? How do we do this so we can add the late fee, and then after the payment is made, we can remove the late fee? Well, before we jump into it, if you're new here, make sure to click that like, click that subscribe, and all the links can be found in the description box below. Okay, let's jump into it. So as a friendly reminder with WooCommerce subscriptions, the renewal process. So let's say, someone 2 months ago purchased, light roast coffee, and they made their payment to start their subscription. And then a month ago, they made another payment and it succeeded. And then their next payment came in and it failed. So you can see right here, if the payment does not succeed, here's the flow chart, our automatic retries enabled. So if automatic retries are not enabled, the order status simply goes to failed. But if they are enabled, it's going to be retried 5 times over 7 days and send 3 separate emails. So I also will put this link in the description box below if you guys want to look at these retry rules, but basically just retrying the payment again. So sometimes people, it's not just because their limit on their credit card has been reached. That's, highly likely that's the case, but it also could be that they got a new card, they got a new hold on their bank account, or their bank account is asking them to verify something because it may be a duplicate transaction. So just keep that in mind. So the first thing that we're going to do and look at is we're going to go to WooCommerce settings, and then we're going to click the subscriptions tab, and we're going to make sure that retried failed payments is enabled. So with my experience with WooCommerce subscriptions, unless you have a really good reason to not enable this, you always should, because with these banks and credit cards, it needs to be retried sometimes a few times. If maybe they, after the first one that fails, it texts the customer, is this accurate, that they're trying to charge you, and they can say yes, so then the second time it will succeed. There's just so many things that you should always retry failed payments, and they'll be retried 5 times over 7 days. Awesome. So now comes the fun part where we need to add the late fee if the subscription renewal payment fails. And how do we add this logic? How do we set this up? Well, we're going to go to products right here, and we're going to create a new product. So I'm just going to name this product late fee, and then I'm also going to make this product uncategorized, and I'm going to make this virtual. And I'm also going to go to catalog visibility and make this hidden. And I'm just going to set this price to $5. So a $5 late fee for customers that don't pay. Then I'm also going to set the tax status to none and 0 rate. So tax is not charged on the late fee. So awesome. I have this late fee product, and I'm going to publish the product. Now, if you have an SEO plugin that you also want to index this product, you can. But we're not going to cover that in this video. You should see some settings if you want to do that down here. I do not have a SEO plugin installed on the site, so that's why. Okay, so now how do we add this late fee as a line item to an order that has failed and is a subscription renewal payment? So when someone pays that order off, they pay it with the late fee, and then their next order on their subscription does not have the late fee applied. Okay, so we are going to use something called Make, and you can register for a free account at simongonek.com/make, and I'll put this link in the description box below. Okay, so they have a free plan and a paid plan, which is $10 a month, but their free plan, you should be able to get everything that you want to do. It just may take longer, 1 minute instead of 15 minutes when the payment's failed, to update that order with the late fee. So I'll go all into this with a test order right now. So I'm going to go to Make. I already have an account on Make, and I'm just going to go to create a new scenario. Awesome. So I'm going to create a new scenario, and I'm just going to search for WooCommerce. Okay. And I'm going to do watch orders right here. And I need to create a connection for my Charlie's Coffee Co. site right here because I don't have it in Make. So I'm going to do charliescoffeeco.com, and I'm also going to need the consumer key and the consumer secret. So I'm going to keep this tab open, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to WooCommerce settings, and I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to go to REST API right here. And I'm going to add a new API key just called make, and I'm going to have it read and write access, and I'm going to click generate API key. So now I'm going to copy and paste the consumer key, and I'm going to paste it right here. And then I'm also going to copy and paste the consumer secret and paste it right here. And then also grab my URL for my Charlie's Coffee Co. site. Awesome, so I'm going to click save, and this will create a new connection with Make just for Charlie's Coffee Co. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a status of failed. So it's going to watch orders that have a status of failed, and it's only going to do one order. And I can do from now on, or I can do since a specific date or all. I'm just going to do from now on because this is a new logic, and I'm actually going to do a few tests so you guys can see of how this late fee will be added to a failed payment if it's a subscription renewal, so you guys can charge the late fee. So I'm going to say from now on, and I'm going to do this every 1 minute. Now, if you're on the free plan, this is going to be every 15 minutes. But even so, if a payment fails and 15 minutes later, the late fee adds, the customer, if they pay within that 15 minutes, they wouldn't have that late fee applied. But I have the paid plan, which is $10 a month, so I can do every 1 minute. But you can obviously do every 15. And what I want to do is I want to watch orders that are failed. And then I also want to create another module with WooCommerce for update in order. So I'm going to update in order. Okay. And I'm just going to add this as this order ID. I can easily just plug and play this. And I'm also going to scroll down to these line items. So I'm going to add a new line item, and I'm just going to auto align this real quick. So I'm going to add a new line item, and I'm just going to name this, I'm going to put the product ID right here. So I need to get the product ID from my late fee product. So I'm going to go back to my WordPress dashboard and go to products, and I can find this late fee product ID. It's 1604, and I'm just going to add in this product ID 1604. I'm just going to name this late fee. This should be the only stuff that you need to really fill out, but I'm just going to also put 1 and then put this as 0 rate and 0 and then put this as $5 total. Awesome. So I'm just adding one line item to a failed payment for a late fee. I'm going to click OK. And then before I, schedule and turn on the scenario, I'm also going to add a filter right here, and I'm just going to name the label as subscription renewal as a question mark. And then I also am going to copy and paste this condition right here, and I will put this on my blog post or in the YouTube description box so you guys can use this. This basically is just looking at the metadata of a specific order and saying, is it a subscription renewal? If it is, we can update it. So if it's failed and it is a subscription renewal payment, we can add the late fee. And then I want to do if this exists. Awesome. So I'm going to say, okay, and I'm going to update the order. Awesome. So now I'm ready to click save, and I'm going to click scheduling on. So it's going to run every 1 minute. And I'm going to come back to WooCommerce subscriptions, and I'm going to simulate how this can work. So I have this Kevin Garnett subscription right here. And as you can see, it's the order total is $15 per month. And it has, $9.49 for shipping and taxes. So it equates to $15 a month. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to do subscription actions, create pending renewal order, and I'm just simulating this how an order would fail. I'm using a Stripe test account, so I can't do automatic recurring payments, but eventually the order status is going to be failed. So I just triggered a new renewal order to make. That's a pending payment. And I'm going to click into that renewal order. And as you can see, it's still $15 because the order status is pending payment. And I'm going to update this order status to failed. and I'm gonna click update. Awesome, so the order's been updated to failed. I'm gonna come back to this scenario. Now if I click this right here, I can click this history button and I can kind of wait 1 minute to see, that it's going. So this is going to be, as I said, at regular intervals every 1 minute. And if I come back here and kind of just refresh this, and I'm going to wait 1 minute for this to run. Awesome. So I also could click the diagram, and if you guys saw that in real time, it actually ran. So I can click here and I can see everything about the order. And on this metadata, you can see one of them has, subscription renewal. So that's what we're checking with. If it is a subscription renewal, it's going to exist. And so it passed this filter, and then it updated to have a new line item for this late fee. And if I come back to this order, and before refreshing, you can see it's $15. Then after refreshing it, I can see that it updated to $20 with the late fee product. And now if I, simulate this as a customer, and I click into their profile and I click switch to, they obviously will get an email that their order has failed with a link to pay. And now, if they click here and they click that link to pay, they're gonna actually pay the full $20 with the late fee. And after they make this payment, so they're gonna click renew subscription. So this is $20, right, with the late fee, and their normal subscription total was $15. They click renew subscription, and they pay $20 with including the late fee. And if we come back to their account, right, and they click their subscription, they can see that their subscription is $15 a month. If I switch back to the WooCommerce dashboard and I go to orders, I can see that this is now paid, but I could also click back into the subscription right here for Kevin Garnett, and I can see that the subscription is $15. So their next subscription payment, a month from now or whenever it recalculates for the next date, because I did this manually, it's gonna be $15. Let's just click process renewal as a test. And you can see that the next payment is $15. And you also can double check the subscription. So that is how to add late fees with WooCommerce subscriptions for customers' payments that fail, that are subscription renewal orders. And if you guys got value out of this video, make sure to give me a like, give me a thumbs up. All the links are in the description box below. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. And if you want to learn anything else or you have any other questions, leave a comment if this worked for you. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.